Hi, this is Graham Jeacocke. Now, since Partygate, the scandal that is shaking the reputation of Boris Johnson here in the UK is slowly becoming a farce, I'd just like to hold to account the music industry in the United Kingdom, the classical music industry. Now, Boris said he would of course resign if he has been found to have misled the people and misled his party or whatever. I'm holding to account these professors of music, classical music, in here in the UK or indeed any other country, because they have a reputation in music. Now, just like what happened with Alcan, the French composer, he wanted to go for a professorship, I think. But the other professors had other plans. They didn't want him to succeed. Now, I'm not trying to get a professorship in the music industry. What I wanted was an acknowledgement of my contribution to the area of sight reading, especially of neglected composers. Firstly, we have ABRSM as the royal standard of what sight reading is, the expectations. Now, I have many professional musicians, violinists, pianists who have slated my sight reading. But should they not really act like Boris Johnson? Is Boris more of a man than these musicians are? Because at least he's took the responsibility of saying what he would do. Now, we also have another piece of evidence, the BBC documentary Living with Genius about John Ogden. And we have again professional musicians, especially from the UK, notably Stephen Huff, who goes to say that when John was alive, musicians and people were jealous of John's ability and they resented it and caused problems. But maybe that's what caused part of his problem with his mental health. You see, did they know what problems it would cause for John? So the other person in that BBC documentary said, I've yet to find another person who could sight read as well as John, right? I'm not claiming to be able to sight read as well as John. What I'm claiming is that the musicians, the professors, all these musical establishments, they've ruined their reputation because they haven't supported me. And I would like them to acknowledge what I have tried to do for music. Now, if they're not going to acknowledge me, it also leads to a knock-on effect as well. Because as you know, the government forces people to find work. Now, I love the government because they are much kinder than the music industry. You see, the government has given me ESA benefits, but I can't live on ESA benefits my whole life. At some point, the music industry has to recognise people's ability. You see, many musicians think performance is the only area. You see, I had one violinist and one pianist who condemned my sight reading. I think it was the violin and piano teacher online in YouTube, and she was It was in one of her violin videos. I like the violin. But she said, oh, no one would ever want to watch a bad sight reader. You see how much influence a bad teacher can give a person. The music industry in the UK have got a big problem because they can't acknowledge musicians. They are embarrassed about the quality of musicians. But I would like to ask Stephen Huff, being a Roman Catholic, having a good conscience, being a first-rate musician, you yourself said people were jealous of John's ability to sight read, right? Well, I will ask you one simple question, Stephen. Let's have a mute trial, because I know you like to study law. Let's put you on the stand. What do you think of my level of sight reading? Do you think it has harmed music for me to sight read badly? Can't ask fairer than that. I may not get the response I want, but I will get what Stephen insists is a right frame of mind to have, because he's all for the right frame of mind. God bless you, Stephen.